Welcome to Financial Garden Live, where we plant financial seeds every week so you can grow in our 6 areas of focus. Emotions and money, entrepreneurship, budgeting, banking, debt fundamentals, and investing. I'm your host, Tasha Danielle. Let's dig in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Financial Garden Live. I am your host, Tasha Danielle, and I have a wonderful guest here today. Jackie Jones is here. Say hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Jackie is founder of Sugar and Money. Sugar and Money is a personal finance blog that is journeying her becoming debt-free. She started off with a little over $100,000 in debt. I think I'm right, and she's paid off over $70,000. She has $29,700 left to go on that journey. I know you counting up. I'll be watching you on Instagram. If you do not follow Sugar and Money on Instagram, please, you should definitely do that because Jackie is very transparent in her journey in paying off debt. And that's why I wanted to have her on today, because she is a mom and a wife, and she's tackling her debt. And she's the perfect person to talk about saving money during the holidays when it comes to shopping and just other general savings tips as it relates to shopping for this holiday season. So without any further ado, welcome again to Financial Garden Live.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always nice catching up with you.
I know. I'm like hearing a clicking sound. I don't know if it's me or what, but I didn't hear it. Okay, we're just going to rock with it. Do you hear it?
I can hear you. And I was just saying that it's always nice catching up with you.
Okay. No, I agree, because we are real friends. Real friends in real life. So we get real transparent whenever we go live. And we forgetting that we actually on live together. But no, I wanted to have you on specifically to talk about holiday shopping, because I know you are still on your journey of paying off debt, and you are always talking about still living your life. You're not on the whole beans and rice paradigm when it comes to paying off your debt, and that's why I wanted you to come on and talk about holiday shopping. So first things first, I know that you have a holiday planner with Sugar and Money on sugarandmoney.com right now. What is that holiday planner about?
It's all about, of course, planning out your Christmas shopping. So it includes like creating your list, the people that you're going to shop for. Also, like keeping track of your budget, saving for Christmas. It includes like a Christmas envelope to like put your cash in, because a lot of people like to save up cash and put it in an envelope. So it has that also. And also it includes a calendar for each month showing like, well, when we had events going on, you could schedule your different events. Because I feel like with Christmas, we think just big with gifts, but there's so many other things that go on with Christmas or just the holiday season, be it a Christmas party or traveling somewhere, new decor, maybe you want to change your decor, all of that changes and is included in that Christmas budget. So it's really just reminding you to put all of that on the calendar, schedule, and, be able to pay for it.
So one thing you mentioned was the Christmas decor. I think a lot of people forget about that. They think about Christmas time or Thanksgiving time as just, getting together. But then you want to make your house look nice if you're going to have people over. But I know COVID's kind of putting a damper on that. But still, people like that to buy new things every year to get in the Christmas spirit, along with gift giving. And now everybody has had some type of financial effect when it comes to COVID this year, whether you got a pay cut, a layoff, or whatever. If it didn't happen personally to you, I'm sure you know someone who has been personally financially impacted from COVID. I'm fortunate enough to not have had like significant impact financially due to COVID, but I definitely had some effects on Financial Gardens business, going virtual and not being in the classroom with my students, and had to like pivot everything. So what are some, before we get into holiday talk, what are some personal finance changes you've had to do this year because of COVID?
Well, I'm not, you were breaking up a little bit, so I'm not sure if you can hear me. I'm gonna just keep on talking. But
Okay.
I was laid off. I was laid off from my job the end of August. One thing that has been a blessing is that my income has not been affected because my job did leave me with a severance package. So that was a blessing to where I was able to, be unemployed and still receive a paycheck. But even so, I have just cut back my spending the past couple of months, like trying to watch where I can, because it was really easy to spend more while I was at home, and I still am at home. But one thing I did do is start a savings challenge at the beginning of this year. So I did keep contributing to that savings challenge bi-weekly, so I could have my money to fund Christmas, and then also or like in the year events. And the reason why I say that is because I have a annual Christmas club that just starts up every year through my credit union. So that's like one big tip that I would give to everybody if they can, if they have a local credit union or a bank and they offer a Christmas club. That's a really good way to get in that habit of saving money and have that money yearly for Christmas. But otherwise for us, it would just be probably not buying as many gifts. So considering that I'm not in the office right now, I don't have to buy any coworkers gifts. And that goes along with a lot of people now that are virtual. If you're working from home and you probably won't see your coworkers, then I would say don't feel pressured to still buy them a gift because you're not even going to see them Christmas time anyway. So that's money that you can save.
No, that's a. I maybe I'm just a horrible, horrible person. I don't. I do. You know what? In general, I'm not a big gift giver. I'm more like an experience person. Like for friend's birthday, I'll pop over, take you out to dinner, maybe give you a gift card. I'm not a big gift giver, so
Mm-hmm.
it never crossed my my mind to give coworkers. I will give thank you gifts and stuff throughout the year, but yeah, I didn't think about that. You don't have to buy your coworkers gifts that you are not seeing in person anymore because you're not seeing them. Um do you feel the pressure? I guess well now you just said you got laid off, but do you think that people feel the pressure if they were in person, they feel the pressure to buy gifts, but do you think people are still feeling that pressure even if they're not seeing them in person, but they're seeing them on Zoom and Teams every day? Do you think they still may feel that pressure?
I think they could, because you are still contacting, and like, excuse me, not contacting, but connecting with them, just virtually. But I would just say,
Yeah.
like, let this be a reason to be like, I just can't do it. Or, we're not in person to like hand that gift. So like, for example, where I worked at, certain people would always bake like a banana nut bread, excuse me. They would bake like baked goods. I would bake stuff sometimes or maybe give like small $10 or $20 gift cards. But if I'm not seeing you, I really don't feel that pressure. Even if I was working from home, I really honestly wouldn't feel that pressure. I would just send you a Merry Christmas email, and get on with my day. Or like because I'm not seeing you and or do like a secret Santa. Like I know one time before, and I had to verify this website, but it was an Elfster to where you could like virtually pull names, and it was a free thing, elfster.com, and everybody who did it would get a name, and you wouldn't know who name you got, and just pull names, and if you decide to do it, then you only have to buy a gift for one person versus like the whole staff or your whole family. Same with family, pull names and save that money.
Okay, so let's jump into the actual tips. So I know you already mentioned the Christmas savings club or like through your bank or credit union. Can you go a little bit more into detail about that? And if it's kind of too late for it, what can they do to plan for it for next year?
Actually, the way mine is set up, this is the perfect time to start it for next year. So my bank is a local credit union here in South Carolina, and the way it starts up every November, they start deducting that money. So the way I have mine set up, and I'm gonna tell you honestly, the amount that I save now could seem a little large to some people, but when I started it, I was doing $10 a check because back then I got paid $10 a week. I mean, I got paid weekly, so I did $10 a week. So every
Okay.
paycheck that came in through direct deposit, they will put $10 in the Christmas club starting in November. So it's already started for next year. And then when the first Friday or the first Thursday of November comes around again, they automatically take the money from my Christmas club and put it in my savings account. So basically last week, that money went from my Christmas club account into my savings account. And what I've been putting in there, like this week, for example, I've already gotten paid. That is already in there for next year. So it's already starting to accumulate. So when I first started, I did $10 a week, $520, which that's still a great amount to have for Christmas. And now I do $80 a week. I just upped it as I made more money because there's a lot of end of year expenses. So like for example, my car taxes is normally due toward the end of the year. And now Christmas is just now more expensive because when I started it, I wasn't married, but now I'm married and I have a daughter. So, you know, just the expenses just incurred. You know, so I just upped it. And you just, and that's easy to do when you know, as you make more money, just kind of get in the habit to save more money. And it doesn't mean I have to spend all of that this year, but if I need it, it's there.
Okay, so now you may, it's too, I don't want to say it's not too late for this year, but to start saving from during the Christmas club, but starting it next year, start now so you can have a cushion set aside for 2021 Christmas. Now, I know you mentioned the Secret Santa idea, which I think that's a good one to reduce having that pressure if you have a big family, especially if people probably are not going to be having large gatherings. They shouldn't be with all these cases going up. That's a whole other topic. But you know, doing a Secret Santa and doing a pool. But are you so? Are you a person that does like Prime or Black Friday shopping to save? Like Prime
Did you
Day or holiday or Black Friday shopping to save on for Christmas?
Yeah, I normally do some Black Friday shopping, and what I've noticed, and everybody else may have too, like those sales have already started. So it seems like a lot of stores aren't doing the big Black Friday shopping as much, you know, because I guess they're trying to cut down on large crowds. So Target has already been doing like some Black Friday deals, I believe, like even Lowe's and different things. They've started doing it. So a lot of stuff is already on sale for Black Friday. So if there's something that you're looking for, and really, girl, it's like 2 weeks away. Like Black Friday is right around the corner, and a lot of people have already started running their sales, so you don't have to be out there in that, you know, in that rush of people, or a lot of people are waiting until then to find the sale. But what I do is throughout the year, or like the past few months, if there's something that I've been wanting to buy, like a larger ticket item, I've been like looking for that specific item. So my biggest tip is just not, don't just scroll Amazon looking to see what all is on sale and then decide what I'm gonna buy, but have it in your mind, have your list, and that's what you're looking to buy, and only buy that item versus just, oh, this is a good price. This is a good price. No matter how good the price, if you didn't plan on buying it, you spent more than you needed to spend. Like that wasn't in your plan to spend anyway.
Now, that's true. That goes to spending in general as well, but specifically for Christmas, if you're watching this and you're like, I feel overwhelmed because I don't have the finances that I had last year, or you just like, I want to save in preparation because my job could be in jeopardy, and you don't see any ways of you increasing income like right now before Christmas, start making that list. Like not the list you want Santa Claus to miraculously feel, because that's not gonna happen. But start making that list of by people what you want to buy for them and what would make sense. So you won't do like Jackie was saying, like you just go on Amazon and you see stuff on sale and you start buying stuff that doesn't even really make sense, or you start looking at what's on sale versus thinking about like what that person actually would want or need. Like you know that person, so you just seeing those little gifts that are set up. Like I'm looking because I'm thinking like when you go in the register, you see those lines. Like I love TJ Maxx and Marshalls is like my store. That stuff is set up for you to pick up little things as you're waiting in line to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the Z. That's perfect marketing because while you're waiting, you're like, oh, this candle, I could get this for my mom. Oh, this little coffee mug with chocolate, I could get this for my mailman. Like you're just picking up stuff to buy it. Don't do that.
Right.
Start off with what you think would work best for the person that you have, you know, that you're thinking about buying for. Now, do you and your husband exchange gifts every year? Do you guys set a limit on what the spend is, or it's just a free for all?
I think for us, like my family isn't really large. You know, I have two brothers, of course, my mom and my dad, and then my nephews and a niece. So like our family isn't super big. But like my parents, I normally give them one gift, you know, and then my brother family, I give them like a family gift. So everybody don't get a gift. It's like one nice little family gift. And that normally works well for us. And that's what I typically do. Like normally I add up, like I'm usually bad with like those office gifts. So I'm kind of happy that I'm not in the office, because as a manager and you have people working under you or people that like indirectly help you, it's like you feel like it's a good time to tell people thank you and you appreciate them. But it can also just add up. So even like you said about having the list, I would say have a list and have an amount signed to that person. And when you reach that limit, even if it's like, I thought about it today, like even if I get a gift that's valued at $50 and I spent 25, I'm not gonna feel pressured to spend $25 more. Like if that's their gift, no matter whatever I saved on it, that's what I'm getting them. And don't feel pressured to say, oh, well, I was gonna spend, or maybe I did have a $50 limit. I feel like I'm gonna spend more to make it. No, at the end of the day, you've got them that gift. You just caught it on sale. So you don't make the sale mean like you have to spend more money.
Yes, that's key. And I think the holidays is something we just wrote about this. I did a newsletter out, and I sent a newsletter out about it's something about this time of year where people, even if their finances are have been dropped a little bit or they're going through something financially, still people feel that pressure and that need, like I want to go and buy this or whatever, and may go into debt swiping credit cards just to get gifts for people. So we know about the Savings Club. Obviously, Prime Day already passed. There was some deals on Amazon, and there's Black Friday. But then we also said don't just buy stuff because you see it on sale. So Savings Club and sales. What are some? And then also we said the list, actually making a list and assigning them out to people. What are some other Christmas tips that you have?
I mean, just piggybacking on what you said, if somebody really can't afford to give a gift, you know how you always say be a cheerful giver? Like if you're not happily giving that gift is putting you in debt, putting a burden on you, just be honest and let someone know, like, I am not participating in this gift exchange this year. You know, like if you're used to like giving and getting, just let them know I'm not participating this year. Like, you know, and if you want to tell them that ahead of time, hey, you don't have to give me anything. I don't have to give you anything. You might be relieving that person also of buying that gift. And I think we all can understand that this pandemic has affected a lot of people. So if someone was to say to me, Jackie, we're not participating in a gift exchange, I would feel no issue about that. Like, good, that's totally fine. Hey, that's one less gift for me to buy. Or I can still choose to give them a gift. But sometimes that's kind of a gray area because some people feel bad. Like if someone gave them a gift and you didn't give them a gift in return, you know? So I would say just set
Yeah.
those parameters and just say, hey, I'm not participating, so please don't, you know, feel like you got to give me a gift type thing. And that could, because you don't want somebody to feel bad, you know, that they didn't give you a gift. But really, we just need to be honest, and you'll be surprised. You could be lifting that burden for somebody else because maybe they truly can't afford it either. But they're just going along with giving this gift. So I would just say, really be honest about what you can afford to give this year and what you can't. And like you said, we don't know what's coming around. If January right around the corner, it may be better just to save your money wherever you can this season.
Now, for you, I know you have a young daughter. Now she's the only child, and I'm sure she has the privilege of having a lot of toys that she likes and loves. How do you decide what you want to get for your daughter if you feel like she has everything, or someone who has like young kids who are like in like fifth grade and under? You're like, okay, I look around the house and they have all this stuff. What else could I possibly get them? What do you feel like you go through that with your child and you feel like what else can I get them? They already got everything.
Oh yeah, because she wants the whole Target catalog that came in the mail. It came in the mail. I needed a couple of minutes to myself. I said, okay, Lauren, circle what you want. She circled almost the whole catalog. So just looking at that, what I tend to do is listen out for things that she says, you know, repeatedly that she wants. Like if I heard it more than one time, you know, then I would look for those items in the store. But we do try to keep the gifts to a minimum. You know, of course, she gets more than one thing. Like I'm not that, I mean, it would be nice to only give her one gift, but she is like 4, and it is fun with her opening the gifts. But we do set a limit on what we buy. And we do typically try to get like one big gift. Like she's been wanting a new kitchen. So that's probably what she's going to get, like a new little kitchen. And then, you know, smaller gifts because she just loves unwrapping the presents. So that's typically what we do. And then my mom and my dad, they always ask my husband's sister. So her aunt, they'll ask like, what does she want? So we spread the love. Hey, this is what she would like. This is what she would like. And they kind of help to buy some of those gifts for her.
Okay, so Lord, Lord is hilarious. She's like, I want everything in the catalog. I'm with her. I may not want everything in the toy catalog, but I want everything that I see in Target that's not a toy for the most part. I feel like so. Now you mentioned that you set set aside the budget for Christmas spending and all of that. Have you ever experienced where you went over budget? And if you did, how did you kind of reconcile that with
Say that
going
one more
over? If
time.
you I know you said you set a Christmas budget every year with the during the savings, your holiday savings, right? I said, have you
Mhm.
ever gone over budget with Christmas shopping? And if so, how did you kind of balance it if you did go over your Christmas budget spending for people who
Oh,
are
oh
like, I
yeah.
go over every year and they're like, give me some tips because I'm always gonna go over. If you faced that, how did you get over that hurdle so you wouldn't keep repeating doing that?
Okay, so yeah, if you're going over every year, then like you need to start planning better to just save more. But in the past, I have went over budget, and also I have went like just strictly in debt. Like years ago, before I was saving this money, it was like credit card city for Christmas. Like that's not a lie. I'm not ashamed to say it because I'm not in that place anymore. But in the past, if I have went over budget, then that fall like January, that's like the cutback time. Like a lot of people do no spend challenges in January, or they just really like not spend a lot of money in January. And I just, if I use my card, my credit card, I try to pay that off just as soon as possible because after getting out of debt, credit card debt, I really don't want to get back in credit card debt again. So that would be my thing versus holding on to that balance for months and paying interest on it. Pay it off as soon as possible. I know some people, they may go to like a local lender or a loan place, then, try to pay that stuff off just as soon as possible because those interest rates they're very expensive, at these, especially at these smaller loan places. So that would be my advice. And that's what I've done in the past. If I racked up some debt on my credit card, then I'm going to try to pay it off just as soon as possible to not, keep paying interest on it.
If you are watching, if you have any questions or comments, make sure you drop them in for us. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you drop in some hearts in the live and tagging people who need to get their mindset together when it comes to Christmas shopping because they go over or they just feel like they have nowhere to start and they're that person that's buying stuff the last minute, which you still tend to go over if you're just buying whatever you see for a person. Now, I know that I started off saying that you are still on the journey of paying off your debt. You're almost there. You are just a little under 30,000, paid over $70,000 off so far. So, do you typically stop overpaying on your debt during this time, or is that not a factor because you've saved already throughout the year?
No, I still typically pay on my student loan debt. This year is a little different because right now, we're in that pandemic forbearance. So I'm not paying additional. Well, last month I did. Last month I paid an additional $25, $250, I think. But like this month, I'm not. Like I'm just gonna wait it out and see what happens in January. So January is when my payments will resume, and that's when I will pay on it again. But typically, I keep paying on my debt.
Okay, we lost Jackie. So I asked her the question about student loan that I'm gonna drop her back in when she comes back in. I was hearing a little echo, but there is still a student loan forbearance deferment that she was talking about. So my question to her was, she is on this journey to paying off this debt. Do you stop overpaying? Not stop paying debt in general, but my question to her was, do you stop your overpayment? So if you have to pay your minimum payment, or if it's in forbearance or whatever, you may not during this period. But to my question to Jackie was, I was just explaining what the question was when you were asking because you were kind of chopping up before you broke off. I know you're going to pay your minimum payments for sure, unless you're in like deferment or forbearance. But the overpayment in general, do you typically stop? So I think you were answering it, but you kind of dropped off, and I didn't hear you.
Oh yes, typically I still pay extra on my student loans because the way student loans are set up, that interest is accruing every day. So since I'm trying to pay them down and pay them off, I normally continue paying them because every day that student loan balance would be going up without paying, more than the minimum.
Now, I'm just going to briefly talk about student loans because I know that's the bulk of what's left for you. Is there any talks of them extending it past January for the student loan forbearance, or is it like a hard stop in January, or is just more to come on that?
From what I've read, then January 1st, those payments would resume for federal student loans.
Okay.
So the
And
payments would resume and also the interest.
um, the interest, and was it still accruing when you because I'm not too familiar with the student loan forbearance or deferment. I guess it depends on if you got deferment or forbearance, that the interest was still racking up when it's due. So for you, like for your deferment, was it still accruing interest if you went into deferment for it? Like when it starts January 1st to pay it, do you have to pay all the back interest that was accruing?
No. So
Okay.
if I heard you right, what has stopped, like it stopped since mid-March. So all this time from mid-March until December 31st, that interest is just not accruing, and it will not be, in the back, just waiting to come on board. Like it would not be there at all. So you'll just start fresh in January. One thing that I like to say though is if you've had interest accrued that you hadn't paid, then that's going to still be there. Like that didn't go away. So one thing I say to people is, let's just say right now the payments aren't required, interest isn't accruing. But if you have interest on your loans right now that's just sitting out there, then that's something that should be paid during this time. So when January comes, you don't have any of that interest, still adding on to that prior interest. Like, you just have just what's accruing that day. So it wouldn't wipe out any interest that you didn't pay. But it will start just going forward from January 1, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, drop a comment. You can always drop a comment after. I try to go back through and answer them after going off live, after the live ends, I mean. Okay, so you had a funny post today or sometime this week.
I got lit up about that post.
Jackie, that post went viral on Sugar and Money. What? Explain to I'll briefly explain. It was a post about Biden talking about forgiving $50,000 for people who have student loans, and it just took off on Sugar and Money. So what was the post about?
Okay, so you know how you have those posts where somebody tweets something and somebody replies. And normally the reply to the tweet is something kind of tongue-in-cheek, something kind of funny. So somebody said, well, Biden will have he could have the right to forgive $50,000 in student loan debt within the first 100 days. So the person that replied to the tweet said, well, if that's the case, like he has my vote for 2024. Like something like that is what they said, if he forgives that student loan debt. So I reposted it because Anthony, friend of your show that was just on here, he shared it first and I reshared it. And I thought it was like really funny. So I said, well, hey, like my caption was, if Biden has me saying bye to them student loans, then, I might have to walk my vote down there. Like he has my vote too. And I had a lot of good, funny reactions, but I had a lot of very almost mean comments. Some of the people I just had to block. And then at some point, like I think I might have got up to almost 200 comments before I finally had to limit the comments because it was just getting really snarky and really nasty. And that's one thing about paying off debt, especially sharing your story on Instagram. It was a lot of comments like, well, I paid my debt off, you should pay yours off, things like that. And what about us that has paid our debt off? And it just was going down the wrong way. And I don't like that kind of energy because I'm not about that at all. And it really was supposed to be funny, but in all truth, if he's gonna, forgive 50,000, I don't even need 50,000 in forgiveness. But if he's gonna forgive it, I'm gonna take it. And that can really change the lives of a lot of Americans. Student loan debt is nearly $1.6 trillion. And that affects, I can't remember, over 40 million people. So I'm one borrower. I'm one. But my debt affects Lauren and my husband. It affects our family. So think about that. That's not just 43 million individuals. That's 43 million families. And, it just seemed like the post was getting real wrapped up in me. But think about the larger America, the larger community, your friends, your family, your doctors, your lawyers, they all are saddled with student loan debt. Everybody didn't pay all their debt off. And if it was 50,000 or maybe it'll be a blanket 10,000, that would be wonderful for a lot of people. But it just went down the wrong path really fast. Like it spiraled out of control.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I seen the post and I laughed. I was like, oh man, this post is going viral on my sugar and money. And I didn't know if that stemmed for anything that he actually said or if it was a joke. Cause I'm not really keeping up on what's going on with the student loan debacle as far as like I've heard so many different things about the forgiveness. I know that um the forgiveness thing was a joke the last 4 years. A lot of people were not getting it. Now that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother financial garden live topic in itself. But I didn't know if it stemmed from anything that he committed to for student loans or any changes, or right now you just like, I know January 1st he's coming back online. You don't really know too much.
Oh yeah, for me, come January 1st, I'm gonna go back to paying my student loan debt. Now I may not pay a whole lot above and beyond because I'm sure once he's actually, in the office and we see what happened also with those seats in Georgia, like if we get a majority Democratic, that's gonna help us because if not, the Republicans are gonna, be against anything he proposes. But the Democrats have been proposing for a while some student loan assistance because I mean it really is affecting a lot of people. It's really unfair. Like when I talk to my friends, it's like a lot of our parents probably didn't have as much debt that we have. And it's like we're almost that sandwich generation that has the most student loan debt because I know kids that came after me, it was more limitations around the debt that they could take on. Like maybe they couldn't get anything extra. Maybe the fact their mom or dad or somebody had to sign for it. But whereas our generation, it seems like it was just get what you want. And then now you are saddled with student loan debt.
Yeah, so we just tuned in. We were talking about Christmas holiday shopping. We always have to talk about student loans when Jackie comes on because she is about to crush that last bit of student loan debt that she has. So I try to keep up with student loan like policies and everything through her. So this is what that's why if you just tuning in like, oh, there's something about Christmas and holiday shopping. We are gonna circle back to that, but I always gotta pause for the student loan topic at hand. And I will say this too, like I've done recently some virtuals with high school students about student loans because it's the time, fall time, ACT in the Midwest is big for getting into colleges, and students are starting to get college acceptance letters now. And it was a conversation about student loan debt and making sure you're going to get an ROI on this degree. Like, just don't sign your life away for student loans, especially at the for-profit colleges that I think about the Everest and those type of schools who the class action lawsuit went against because it was predatory. So this is that season. I'm going off on a tangent from Christmas, but the Christmas story. But in general, if you have high school students or whatever that are seniors, this is something to think about too. Like I know we're talking about Christmas. I know it'd be great to get them a gift of a free tuition, but that's not possible for a lot of people right now. So my tips for parents of high school seniors or high schoolers in your junior year, start thinking about saving if they're going to go away to college or stay in a dorm. Start thinking about giving them some of that stuff early, and saving towards that, or giving them a gift card, put it to so they can think about forward thinking. I know they may not be excited about it right now because it's COVID and they just want to do something fun or whatever, but that's something to think about for the long term because if they're going away to college or starting college in the fall, that's going to come before Christmas next year. So think about that as a good idea for gifts or for gift giving to if you have older kids. In general, do you have any, besides thinking about making a list, obviously planning ahead, are there any other rule of thumbs that you have that you want to share with us? And kind of thinking about the holiday planner and stuff, like how you got the idea, like are there just general tips that people may not be aware of when it comes to holiday shopping?
I just really like to say, get creative too, like not feeling like everything has to be like $100 or $50. And I do have one tip you might like, I'm gonna add it in next. But like searching Pinterest, because Lauren is in school, so she has like teachers that teach her. So you like to give them a little something too to say Merry Christmas, but everything doesn't have to be like super expensive. So maybe get creative, like Pinterest has great ideas. Maybe ask your friends if they are teachers, like what they may like. And again, like I said, baking something, or if you have some kind of skill, like you can just make them a gift or gift them something that I'm sure they would like. And then I thought about you with your credit card hacking. You can also check your credit cards because you may have free gift cards through your credit card rewards. So that can be, and I saw that through my card, which I'm a beginner credit card hacker, but it was like, oh, I got enough points to where I can get a couple gift cards. I can give those as a gift without spending any money because my card is paid off, so I'm not accruing any interest to pay for that debt. And then I can give, like, it may have been Bath and Body Works or something like that, but I'm sure there's somebody in your life that would like a Bath and Body Works. I think Macy's was one. They'll have a variety, and that's something you can give to them, and it didn't cost you any money.
I was gonna bring up gift cards in general because I'm kind of split on how I feel about gift cards. First of all, I definitely use them as I am a credit card hacker. That is my gift, like for people's birthdays. I usually have so many rewards stacked up. I'm like, you get a $50 gift card, you get a $50 gift card. But in general, I know the reports come out every year on the stats on people who do not use their gift card. They just sit. I think there's a website, and maybe you know it. There's a website where you can go on and buy gift cards from people.
I can't think of the name of it, but I've heard of it before. You can sell your gift cards too.
You can sell your gift cards as well, because some gift cards do expire. So that's a tip I have for you as far as if you have gift cards that are about to expire that you got from last Christmas. Go Google gift card sale site or exchange site. I can't think of the name of it.
Fairy? Does that sound
I think so.
Fairy?
That sounds familiar because I'm drawing a blank.
Probably more than one anyway.
Yeah, that's my biggest tip. If you have gift cards from last Christmas that could be set to expire around this time, go on and get some extra cash from that to buy an actual gift for somebody, or to take the cash and actually gift them cash so you don't have to worry about them having a gift card that sits and not use it. Because I know you made a post about for your birthday, you had a Target gift card that was about to expire. So
I had that gift card since last year, and I finally used it. But I kind of hoard my gift cards. Like, in my mind, I wait until either I don't have the money to buy whatever that item is. Like, even though I may still have it, but maybe I don't want to spend my money on it, then I'll pull out that gift card. Or if I went to Target and bought like too much stuff, it's like, okay, let me pull out that gift card. Like, I save it until I feel like I really need it. But then you have some people that as soon as they get that gift card, it's burning a hole in their pocket and they're going to spend it. So you have it on both sides.
No, you know what? I actually have two. I have 3 gift cards. I got a junk drawer in my kitchen that I just like. It's like where receipts go, so I won't lose track of them, and so it's full of receipts. Credit cards that I have that I don't want to use, so I put them in there, and then some cash to keep on hand, and then gift cards. And I got gifted these gift cards. I'm like, I don't even go to these places. So I was like, I need to get on this site and sell them because like parents had gave me from Students in Financial Garden had gave me gift cards, and I'm just like, I don't even go to this. Obviously, I was thankful for it. But I'm like, dang, how am I gonna use it? And it's sitting in the drawer. So I need to go on this site myself to get ready to sell these gift cards.
So, but that brings me to this. What do you think about regifting? That's always a touchy topic. But what do you think about regifting those gift cards to somebody who would use them?
I am a believer in I do regift. I laugh when people like, no, I am very frugal, but I have regifted a couple things. I usually regift like the lotion sets that I get. Because my skin is sensitive, number one, and I don't like all the fruity duty smells or whatever. So if I get a nice one, I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, slide this in the gift bag to somebody else to give. And it's just a gift that keeps on giving. So I do regift, but for gift cards, it's a little hard because they wrote my name on it.
Oh,
you know what so if they wrote my name on the back of it, so I'm like, I can't really regift it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that with from somebody else and give it to somebody else. But if my name is not on it, slide it to the left. But what about you? Have you regifted an item before?
Yeah, like especially like stuff. I'm like, yeah, like especially stuff that I've gotten at work. And it's not same thing like Victoria's Secret smells and stuff that I did not like. I will pass them on to somebody else. Or, certain stores like Bath and Body Works, they always take returns. Like they have the best return policy.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they will always take those lotions and stuff back, and they'll give you a store credit, or you can buy something else. Sure enough, they got a
That's a
great
good
return
tip.
policy.
So we just talking about regifting stuff. So don't feel that pressure to just buy somebody something because they probably not even gonna use it anyway. So that's the reality of it all. I have gotten some great unexpected gifts. I'm not like, oh, I'm not thankful or everything I get sucks. I'm not saying that at all. Lotions, this skin is sensitive, and some of those smells are so strong it knock you down before you even fully open the cap. So I'm like, or I just see it. I'm like, okay, I've had this gifted to me before. I'm just gonna slide this, put it in another bag, send it off to somebody else. And the gift cards, if it's stores that I just don't go to or don't it's like usually a restaurant. Like I'm like, I don't really go to this restaurant, so I don't know what to do with this. Then I'm like, I'm about to get on this site after we get off this live because I really do have 3 gift cards that have just been sitting in there since last Christmas that I got gifted, and I'm like, I need to do something with these. So
yeah, I think it's gift card fairy. I'm sure at least one of them is gift card fairy. If not, it'll direct you to another site, I'm sure.
if you're watching and you regifted, drop a comment. Let us know what you regifted in the past. I'm curious to see. For me, it's always the lotion sets. I have a lotion set that I have in my linen closet that's still in the bag because I'm like, I'm from last Christmas that I'm just like, I probably am never gonna use this at all. But what else was I gonna ask you? So we talked about gifts for like the family. Like I know you mentioned you gift a family something instead of everybody individually. We talked about pulling names. Anything else that I missed that we haven't talked about? Anything I missed, Jackie? I don't know if I'm breaking up on your end.
Oh, I think that's it. And just to kind of reiterate, checking your you make your list and just check it twice, as they say Santa does, and make sure it's somebody that you really truly, feel an urge to give a gift to. Don't give just because, or feel like if it's going to put you in a bind, really reconsider buying these gifts this year. Or luckily we don't have a bunch of events to probably attend, so you won't have that pressure to like buy a ticket to go to an event or travel somewhere. And just take this time to save where you can, because we don't know what's around the corner in 2021. But if you are a big Christmas person and you may feel like you might want to make up for it next year, really start saving now for 2021, because these weeks roll around real fast. Like 2020 has been the longest and also the fastest year ever. That just shows you how fast it's going to come right back around.
It's so
$10,
true.
yeah. And even if it's $10 a week, like you may feel like, what is $10 going to do? At the end of the year, it's $520. Save you $20 a week, you're gonna have over $1,000. So just think about that, to save that money, how fast it'll add up when you just don't touch it. Like, just don't touch it and it'll be there.
No, I agree. And so with no other tips, I want to thank you for coming on. I got a few things before we hop off. First, thank you for joining. You were joining me before I actually made it officially Financial Garden Live. So thank you again. And it's not easy to be consistent. I've been consistently coming on every Thursday at 7 every week. So next week is the last episode for this season. Season finale is next week. So thank you for all who's been watching, dropping comments, and sharing my lives. I really appreciate it. Next week is going to be season finale. I'm going to have somebody want to interview me as I close out this season of Financial Garden Live, and I will be back in January with Financial Garden Lives with more amazing guests like Jackie. Jackie's definitely coming back because I love going live with her. But I'm going to be bringing on some other friends of mine and other guests that I just admire from afar, that I want to have a chance to speak to. So next Thursday, make sure you tune in for the season finale. And I'm going to have some giveaways during the season finale as well. So you don't want to miss it, only if you tune in during the live. During the live. So yeah, it's been a ride, Jackie, going live every Thursday.
But you showed up. And
been consistent. So I'm like, that's one thing I can give my credit for this year is consistently going live, and not even just saying I went live, but getting the messages of people like, great tips. Jackie, the student loan stuff we talked about earlier this year that one and real estate have been like the most commented and most emails that I've gotten about follow-up. So thank you for always like dropping great information, actually
You're
sound
welcome.
information that people use and didn't even know about, especially when it pertains to student loans and just paying off debt in general.
You are
So,
so welcome.
so without any further ado, I will see you all next Thursday. Do not forget, purchase a copy of Amina's bracelets on financialgarden.com. Check out Jackie Jones at sugarandmoney.com and her Sugar and Money on Instagram. On Facebook. She has an amazing Facebook page and Facebook group. And did I miss any of your handles, Jackie?
No, I don't think you did. Nope, you covered everything.
All right. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next Thursday for the season finale.